Arthur woke up one morning and realized his brain had been stolen. The thief had been living in his house for years, but Arthur couldn't remember when the door opened because this thief hadn't broken the door, hadn't triggered the alarm, hadn't even worn a mask. He didn't infiltrate Arthur's wallet, but his brain's dopamine center. TikTok, Reels, Shorts, they were all little smugglers living in his brain. The first video was innocent. It started with, "Oh, look at this, so funny." Then it became entertaining. Then he said, "I'll just watch for 2 minutes and close it." Now he found himself at 4 a.m. with half-closed eyelids, his thumbs sliding across the screen like a Formula One driver. One day he realized he couldn't enjoy anything anymore. When he opened a book, the pages moved as heavy as buried in sand. He got bored watching movies within 10 minutes. When talking to a friend, half his brain was screaming, "Take out your phone," because Arthur's brain had gotten used to joke videos flowing at 120 kilometers per h. Real life now came to him in slow motion. The normal world was too slow in terms of dopamine. His brain constantly screamed faster, funnier, more striking. Then he started being late for work. When he turned off the alarm, he'd say, "Let me just see what's there." 40 minutes later, he could exit the Explore page. Even when his eyes were asleep, his thumb was searching for the phone. He couldn't have breakfast, started with low morale, ended his day collapsed. But that wasn't the real problem. The real problem was that Arthur's dopamine tolerance had skyrocketed. Nothing gave pleasure anymore. Conversation was boring. Walking was pointless. Books were slow. When doing something ordinary, someone inside his brain screamed, "This is so boring. Open a video." Arthur had become unable to live normal life because normal life didn't provide enough dopamine. One evening he was out with friends. There were laughs around, there were conversations, but Arthur was looking at his phone, scrolling on the screen. At that moment he realized something. He couldn't be in the moment anymore. He wasn't living life. He was watching it, listening to a conversation, seeing a face, focusing on anything. He had no tolerance for any of it. His attention span was now shorter than a commercial, and one night he hit rock bottom. When his phone was taken from his hand, he realized he didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to read. He didn't want to walk. He didn't want to exercise. He couldn't even open his favorite games. There was a strange emptiness inside. What he was experiencing wasn't laziness. This was the dopamine collapse that steals all the color from life. It was an addiction mimicking depression. Arthur had become genuinely numb. That night he made a decision. "I'm getting out of this pit. I'm taking my brain back." The first step was breaking the loop. He found the triggers: bathroom, bed, morning alarm, emptiness during meals, moments of boredom. Then he deleted TikTok, set a 15-minute limit on Instagram, moved his phone to another room. His bed was now only for sleeping. As access became harder, the addiction weakened. The second step was retraining dopamine. When he put down the phone, nothing felt fun. It was normal. His brain was screaming from inside, "Give me short videos." Despite this, Arthur turned to small but healthy dopamine sources: a full cup of tea, a 10-minute walk, a shower, completing a small task. The first days were very hard. Life was gray. Because the dopamine system was like a collapsed muscle, recovery would take time. The third step was descending the stairs slowly. At first, he checked his phone every 20 minutes. Then it increased to 1 hour. Then 3, 4 hours. Then just a few times during the day. A month later, something strange happened. Color came back. Reading books started to give pleasure. He started noticing his surroundings while walking. He wasn't bored when talking to people anymore. He even realized one day that he was genuinely laughing for the first time in a long time because his dopamine system had started breathing again. Arthur was finally free. He was no longer managed by dopamine. Control was completely his. And he wanted to say one sentence to anyone who heard this story. This isn't just about quitting social media. It's about taking your brain back. The reason you feel stupid, unmotivated, lazy, tired, unhappy isn't you. Your brain just needs to be cleaned from the fast dopamine garbage. Arthur escaped. You can escape too. Every new day is a new beginning to reclaim your attention.